everybody, and welcome to Enjoy English. I am your host, Shane.
大家好，我是 Bernice 老师。
How much do you enjoy English?
Very.
Much? A lot, right?
Very much.
Very much. I
Yeah.
very much enjoy English. And how about this topic? From office tool to e-sport.
E-sport.
Can you guess what that's going to be? From office tool to e-sport to e-sport. Okay? It's Battle of the Spreadsheets.
Oh, okay.
So I think you need to do some explaining here what a
Yeah.
spreadsheet is.
没错，
and
我
what-
们等一下会
what's-
解释。
Yeah.
对，这个 Office Tool 的一开始讲的就是说呢，办公这个文书的一些软体啦，那现在要摇身呢变成所谓我们讲的这个电竞的游戏，然后我们要来一场决斗，但是这个决斗呢讲的是试算表的一个对决战。那等一下呢，我们就会在文章里面好好的解释一下喽。
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
From Office Tool to eSport. Most people use Microsoft Excel for work. It helps them organize numbers, create lists, and track information. Surprisingly, Excel has also become an eSport in recent years. The Microsoft Excel World Championship is a yearly competition in which players solve difficult tasks by using the software. Players do not need business knowledge. Instead, they need logical thinking and a strong understanding of how Excel works. The road to becoming a champion is full of challenges. First, 256 skilled players must pass several rounds before reaching the group stage. Then, the top players move forward step by step through the rounds for a chance to play live in Las Vegas, USA. In each match, players race against time to solve different tasks quickly and correctly. This turns spreadsheet work into an exciting test of skill. In 2025, Irish player Diarmuid Early finished more than 300 points ahead of the second place player and won the title. With the 2026 total prize money set at 100,000 US dollars, this championship is creating a new kind of athlete, one who is highly skilled at working with numbers on a computer.
All right, today we're going to be talking about Microsoft Excel, right? And this is definitely a spreadsheet that you use when you are, I think that even in high school, you probably already have been exposed to it. In college, you'll be using it sometimes. And especially if you have an office job where you work with any kind of data, you will need to use this Microsoft
没错。
Excel. So it's a very popular piece of software, right?
也就是刚才老师在讲这个 Excel 这样的一个档案啦，就是我们讲说的大部分的同学呢，不管你是高中生啦，好，你是学生或大学生，甚至可能更经常，或者如果你是这个办公室工作的人，可能这样子的一个试算的这样的一个表单呢，可能是你们非常常用的一个工具。
Are you good at it?
No.
Me neither.
I have to admit, no.
I was good for a while. Like I could do specific
For a while?
because I used to be like I used to work in an office, and I could I was able to do like exactly what I needed to do on it.
Oh,
but I couldn't like create things out of nowhere if I didn't know. I just knew how to use my set of rules.
就是 Shane 老师只会用他的，他今天如果进去 Excel 这个档案，就他要按照他的这个方法去用。但如果你要他去创造一些其他的，他可能就不太会。
Yeah, okay. So most people use Microsoft Excel for work. So like you're saying, students are exposed to it, but it's really an office tool. And Microsoft actually, this is part of their suite of software, which is called Microsoft Office, because it's used in an office. And
没错。
Excel is probably next to Word, it's probably the second most used, or, well, I don't know. I couldn't say that. PowerPoint's also used a lot. But anyway, it's very often used in offices. Right?
没错啦，所以这边讲的就是所谓的 Microsoft 它的 Excel 的这样的一些 Microsoft 很多的它的这个所谓的一些工具啊，在电脑里面的，我们大家都非常对这些软体，我们大家都非常的依赖它，不管是像老师比较常用，我可能是常用 Word 啦，或者是 PowerPoint 啦，等等这些东西。那我们今天要特别讲的就是 Microsoft Excel 这样的一个软体。那大多数的人呢会用，当然就是在工作的时候会使用了。
Right. Okay. Continuing, it helps them organize numbers, create lists, and track information. So to organize something, we know that means to put something in a specific order so it's easy to understand.
没错。
That's what organization is, right?
没错。
So organization would be the noun.
名词。
To organize is what we're talking about here. It helps them organize numbers. So you're going to put numbers and you want to put them in some kind of order that makes sense.
没错。所以呢，这个 Microsoft Excel 呢，它主要呢就是可以帮助人们做什么样的一些事情呢？第一件事情可以帮你整理你的数据嘛。那刚才有老师有讲的 organize 就是你把数字会按照你的这个顺序，好，你的特定的一个顺序去排列。然后再来呢，它会 create list， 就是帮你建立一些清单，并且可以帮助你 track 就叫追踪一些你的资讯。
Surprisingly, Excel has also become an e-sport in recent years. So when we talk about an e-sport, this E, of course, we should have probably mentioned this earlier, we're talking about an electronic sport. Whenever you see E something, it's like electronic, right? So we have like an email.
Email, yeah.
So anyway, e-sport, it's become an e-sport in recent years. Interesting, okay? Which makes sense because it's very, very common in the computer world. And it is something that requires a lot of skill to use. And I think that, people have different levels of skill. So seeing people compete to kind of who can use it better kind of makes sense.
没错，没错。所以老师刚才在解释，就是说呢，我们现在 Microsoft Excel 不是只用在工作，好像就是我放一些数据一些资讯进去，我们也可以因为大家来比赛。电竞的这个比赛一下，看大家的，比如说谁的速度比较快，谁整理数据的方式比较更加的 efficiently， 更加的有效果，等等等的。好，所以这个事情呢，非常的出乎意料的。也就是说呢，在近年 in recent years， 记得当你用 in recent years， 你这个句子要用现在完成式，所以你的主词呢，就是刚才讲的 Excel 这样的一个软体 has also become 也开始。变成了什么东西呢？一样，我们刚刚讲的 e-sport， 这个 e 就是电子的，所以像刚才老师举的 e-sport 或是 email 的那个 e 都是 electronic， 叫电子的。
Okay. The Microsoft Excel World Championship is a yearly competition in which players solve difficult tasks by using the software. So it's a yearly competition. What does that mean? That means that it happens once a year. That's what if something is yearly, it means it occurs or happens once a year. Right? So once a year they have this championship.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the champion of Excel. Sounds very nerdy. Very nerdy.
OK， 好的，所以老师这边解释就是说呢 ，Microsoft Excel 呢，它这个世界锦标赛啦，它中文是这样子的翻译，但我们知道 Championship 就是看看你谁是那个第一名的人，那个冠军就对了。他说是一个 yearly competition， 同学你可以看到这边的 year 加上了 ly， 可是它不是副词，它是形容词，就像你以前呢曾经在国中学过 friendly。Friendly 它也不是副词，它是形容词，所以 friendly people yearly 一样 yearly 什么东西，所以后面要放的是一个名词 monthly 每个月的什么东西，好 weekly 每一周的，所以并不是每一个字加了 ly 它都变副词哦，只有形容词加 ly 才是副词，像你们学过的 quickly OK 它是副词，可是名词加上 ly 它是形容词，所以这个要特别注意的，所以它是一个每一年都会去做的这样的一种年度的赛事 in which 为什么用 in which 就是在这个赛事里面 我们要做一些活动嘛，所以在这样的比赛里面呢，所有的参赛的选手们呢要去做什么事情？他们要去解决一些很困难的这些任务。那这些任务呢是怎么样解决呢？就是来使用刚才我们讲的这一套 Excel 的软体。
Okay, so this is a fill in the blank or a close exercise. So the next sentence is a choice. We have 4 choices, A through D, of what the sentence could be. So the sentence could be A, players will not need to join a team. B, players will not need a new computer. C, players do not need business knowledge. And D, players do not need to download special tools. So if we look at these and we think about them a little bit, we fall on C as being the best answer, which would be players do not need business knowledge. So what do we mean by that? It just means that in order to play in this competition, to be part of this competition, to be a competitor, you don't need to know stuff about business. You don't actually need to have worked in an office and know stuff about the business world at all. You just have to know this software. Right.
没错，所以老师刚才讲到有一个字 competitor， 就是刚才的 competition 的人，表示人的名词，后面变 or， 所以 competitor 就是竞争者。所以这句话老师刚刚的意思就是说呢，我们现在有一个空格出现了，对不对？这个空格考的是一整个句子。那我们怎么样知道这一整个句子现在有没有4个选项？哪一个选项放在这个空格是比较合适的？那当然你要看一下这个空格的前面跟后面。它的刚才的
You have to look at the word. Say when you say 空格的前面跟后面, this is what we call context.
Yeah, 它的上下文。
Right. You need to look at the context of what it is. And some of the answers, probably grammatically, according to grammar, they make sense. But what's the best answer?
对，
right?
没错，就是你4个里面要选出一个最好的。我们可以看到这个4个选项呢，都是用 players 作为你的主词，可是 players 后面所做的动作是不一样的。那这时候同学你在选择的时候，就要把一个一个去对照，前面那个句子，空格前面的句子跟空格后面的句子，然后你去选出一个你觉得最好的选项。比如说像 A 刚才讲的。这些参加的人是不需要不需要加入任何一个队伍，也就是说我可以自己一个人参加，我不需要跟一整个队。可是我们在句子里面并没有看到说他跟你讲你要一个人独自参加，还是你要一个队，他没有这样的一个限制，所以你选出 A 这个选项就是怪怪的。然后 B 呢？跟买新电脑好像没什么关系啊！你要用旧的，你用新的随便，因为你是参加游戏嘛，对不对？就像我今天去参加一个电玩的竞赛游戏，没有人规定说我一定要买新的或我不可以买新的，没有这种奇怪的规定。第3个，他是说你不需要一些所谓的 business knowledge， 就是说你不需要一些所谓的商业的知识。这个就蛮符合我们要选的，因为你只是要去参赛，你要比赛的是说你怎么样利用这个软体来解决困难的一些任务。所以
你可能会以为
对
你需要一些 business knowledge， 可是
对，其实不是说我一定要上过班，或我一定要工作过，我有工作经验我才能去参加，它并没有这样的一个限制。所以 C 这个选项当然是比较好的。D 的选项是说呢，你不需要下载一些什么特殊的工具，这个也并没有在比赛里面有做特别的说明。所以呢，这题答案选 C 是比较好的。
这比较好的，没错。
对，其实你看下一个句子可能会更明白的知道为什么答案选 C。那我们请炫老师接着讲空格后面的一个句子好了。
Okay. Instead, they need logical thinking and a strong understanding of how Excel works. So makes sense, right? You need to think logically. Right? And of course, you just have to understand how Excel works. You have to have a lot of experience using it and know how to manipulate the software to do things that you want it to do. And even somebody maybe who's only like 11 years old or 12 years old could have learned to do this and never, of course, been in the business world, hasn't even been in junior high school yet, maybe. Who knows? It's basically open to anybody who knows how to use the software, right?
没错，所以刚刚老师有讲一个字叫 manipulate, manipulate, manipulate 就是去操控它。 你看它前面的那个字首就是有手的那个意思。OK， 所以呢，它这个下面这个句子你看完之后，你就会发觉啊，刚才我选 C， 确定是一个最正确的答案，因为它下面那个句子接着说什么相反的 instead 就是作为一个替代的感觉。相反的呢 ，they 当然就是讲这些参赛的 players， 他们所需要的只是 logical， 就是说有逻辑的 thinking。然后再来
So we can say thinking versus what we see in C, we're talking about knowledge.
Yeah.
So we know we're talking about thinking and knowledge, these kind of things, so it helps fit them together. So oh, we're talking about thinking, logical thinking here.
Yeah.
Well, that has something to do with what do I know and how do I know things, my brain, so you can make the connection.
对，没错。然后接着呢，你要有第二个，就是你要有一个 strong understanding， 你要有这个所谓很深刻的这些理解，就是到底 Excel 是怎么样运作的。所以就像刚才Shane 老师也有解释，你不是说就是一定你国中生如果你很会用 Excel。或者是你可能高中生，你很会用 Excel， 你就可以去参加这个比赛，并不是一定要像比如说我跟谢老师，我们曾经有 business 的一些背景啦，或者我们有工作的经验，不是这个样子。所以刚才那个第一个空格 C 是最好的选项。
Okay, let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
好的。
All right, let's get right back into it. Okay, the road to becoming a champion is full of challenges. Now, to become a champion is somebody who wins a competition, right? They're usually the number one person who won this competition. If there's other people involved, right? You become the champion, the best.
没错，所以 the road to 记得这个 to 呢是表示通往的这条路，这个 to 是一个介系词的 to， 所以它后面的 become 有加 ing， 就是说你今天要变成一个冠军，这个道路呢是充满了 be full of 就充满了 challenges， 要加 s 挑战。
First, 256 skilled players blank several rounds before reaching the group stage. So our options are A, passed, B, have passed, C, are passing, D, must pass. So which fits best here? First 256 skilled players passed doesn't sound right. Have passed? No. Are passing? No. Must pass several rounds before reaching the group stage. Right, so D would be the answer.
没错，因为这个空格就告诉你后面是说 before reaching the group stage 是说你要再通过很多次的一群人嘛哈，所以你要通过好几轮的这个淘汰赛之前，你一定要先怎么样嘛，对不对？所以你就是说，你要进入下一个比赛，然后再下一轮，然后你一定要先做一件事情，你才能进入下一个 stage 啊。所以这个4个选项当然是选第4个 D must pass 是最好的。所以它的中文是说，首先呢，总共有256位，这些都是 skill 就是相当有技能、有技巧的这些人，所以就是这些顶尖的高手呢，他们一定必须要先通过好几轮的淘汰赛，然后接着他们才可以进入所谓的 group stage， 就是你可以一个团体赛，你可以去参加了。
Then the top players move forward step by step through the rounds for a chance to play live in Las Vegas, USA.
Las Vegas.
So when you do something step by step, you do it just as 一步一步来.
Yeah,
step by step.
按照步骤的.
Yeah, so the idea of step by step is you do one thing, and then there's a thing that you do after that thing, and then you do one more thing. You have to just take it in small strides. Strides is also another way to, so like that. So, okay. So it's
stride, S-T-R-I-D-E.
Yeah, thank you.
先帮同学拼一下这个字。
She's our spelling bee expert.
Thank you,
Spelling
thank you.
bee, yes.
好，所以第一步骤，当你呢一定要先通过数轮淘汰赛，然后后来你进入了团体赛，那接着你要做什么事呢？接着，如果你是他们的 top players， 就是你是里面表现比较优异的这些选手呢，你就要 move forward， 你要开始往前晋级了。那你晋级的方式，就像刚才 Shane 老师讲的，你不能一下从第1集跳到第8集，不可以，你要一步一步的往上啊，所以 step by step， 所以呢，你要慢慢的这个步步的来晋级，然后 后那你怎么样可以步步的晋级呢 ？Through the rounds 就是透过一轮一轮的 round， 就是指参加比赛里面的一轮啊、一局啊，或一场或一个回合这样子。所以你透过呢每一次一轮的比赛呢，然后你慢慢的一步一步的往上晋级，然后接着呢，你可以做什么事呢？因为你要争取一个机会 for a chance， 这个 chance 是干嘛？你最后终于可以到美国的 Las Vegas 来做所谓的 live 直播比赛。
Cool. Okay, in each match, players blank to solve different tasks quickly and correctly. So the blank here, in each match, players ask for help, A. B, race against time. C, make up their minds. D, listen to other players. Okay, so I think the correct answer should be B. In each match, players race against time to solve different tasks quickly and correctly. That means there's time there. You have a time limit.
Yeah.
And you're trying to race against time. You want it to be the lowest time that you could possibly get. So it's a race against time.
没错，对，所以刚刚老师讲的 time limit 就是时间的限制嘛，你在做比赛一定会有时间的限制的，所以他就说了，在每一次的这个比赛里面，这个 match 就是指两队几队人马他们之间一定要比出胜负的这种比赛，我们就会用到 match 这个字。那 players 要做什么事呢 ？A 寻求帮助，你都已经要比赛了，看谁是 champion 了，你还在那边，你帮我一下吧。还是 B 我们要彼此怎么样？时间赛跑，当然是 race 就是竞争嘛 ，against time 跟时间去竞争速度嘛，所以就你要跟时间赛跑，这个是最符合的选项。再来 C， 我要下定决心，你在比赛里面才下定决心，会不会太慢了一点？第四个，你还听别人在讲什么？聆听别人在说，怎么样？下一个我们要怎么做？下一个步骤怎么做？不太可能的嘛。所以选手们呢，必须要跟时间来做赛跑，这样子的话呢，才能够解决这些不同的任务，而且你是要又快又准确。
This turns spreadsheet work into an exciting test of skill. So to turn something into something else just means one thing, A, becomes B.
没错
Right? So that's what it means to turn something into something else. A will become B.
对，是把什么转变成什么的意思。
Yeah, so it just becomes a boring spreadsheet, right? Doing a boring spreadsheet. What does that turn into? It turns into an exciting test of skill.
没错，所以这个 this 指的就是上面刚才讲的这一个句子，就是每一场比赛大家要跟时间赛跑，这样去解决这些任务的这样子的一个事情呢，可以让我们刚才讲的所谓的 spreadsheet， 就是这个试算表的这个工作呢，变成了一种非常刺激的一种技巧上面的一个考验，就不是只是坐在办公室里面把这个表格完成而已。
Okay, let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
好的。
Okay, let's get right back into it. In 2025, Irish player Dermot Earley finished more than 300 points ahead of the second place player and blank. Okay, so he A, saved the file, B, broke several rules, C, won the title, D, entered the final round. So it says that he scored more, he finished more than 300 points ahead of the second player and won the title. So we know he finished. So if he finished, what happened then? Did he win? Did he lose? No, he won the title. So C is the most appropriate answer.
没错，所以刚才呢，其实4个选项，你第一个可以删掉的就是 B 啦。哪有人比赛还是什么打破规则，对，破坏规则，你都违反规则了，你还怎么参加比赛，对不对？所以他这边讲的说，2025年出现了一个很厉害的人哦，这个人是一个爱尔兰的选手，这个选手呢以领先第2名300多分，就是他是第1名嘛，然后他跟第1名跟第2名中间的差异将近是more than 不止哦，超过300多分，ahead of 就是我领先你，我在你的前面。好，然后 the second place player 就是第2名，所以他领先那个第2名的选手呢，有超过300分这样的一个成绩，而且他怎么样？那你想想看嘛，我都赢过你了，我当然是 C 啦，我最后终于赢得刚才讲的这一个冠军的头衔。
Okay, with the 2026 total prize money set at 100,000 US dollars. Wow. This championship is creating a new kind of athlete, one who is highly skilled at working with numbers on a computer. So this is a new kind of athlete. Now, an athlete is usually a competitor in some type of a sport. And we're saying that this is a kind of esports now because sports are about competitors competing against each other
没错。
to usually win some sort of championship, a prize. In this case, we got 100,000 US dollars.
Yeah,
Very
好可怕
impressive.
所以这个总奖金呢，随着2026年呢，它的总奖金 set 就是它定在这个一个金额，这个金额是美金10万块。好的，很多很多钱，太多零了，数不出来了。然后结果呢，这样子的一种锦标赛呢，它就 is creating， 它主要是创造出来呢一种新的全新类型的一个运动员。刚才老师讲 athlete 本来是我们讲说在运动场合里面的运动员，但是这个 e-sport 也是算是一种 sport。所以他们也可以说是一种运动员。那这个运动员是怎么样的运动员呢 ？One who is 这样的人，这个人呢，他是 highly skilled， 他是非常非常的顶尖的高手。但是他这个顶尖的部分在哪里呢？所以要记得用 be skilled at， 他是 working with numbers， 是在电脑上面处理这些数据的顶尖高手。
Okay, all right. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
All right， 拜拜。
拜拜。